Okay, hello, good afternoon to you and everybody who's watching this video. In this part of the video, I'm going to show you a city where English is the native language of it, and I choose New Orleans. That city is located in Louisiana, the state of Louisiana in the United States, and I choose New Orleans because it's a city for me that has a great culture, music, values, and the English there is a little different from the others because it has the combination of Spanish, French, African, Haiti people. So all the blended of culture had created so far the best culture in the United States for me. So I'm going to show you a little bit about New Orleans and all the information about it, and you will see at the end the reason why I choose New Orleans for my presentation. The language of New Orleans is obviously English, but the in the past the official language it was in English. It was French. In fact, it was the only state in the United States where people speak another language than English, like French or Spanish. It has a heavily influence for African as well because all of the slaves were there, and now they have a dialect that called Cajun or Creole. Creole is a little bit of French and English, and is the dialect that people from Haiti speak. It's a culture that have a lot of art, and they have a lot of culture uh, behaviors. They have, for example, something that it calls Mardi Gras Festival or the Black Masking Festival. That is a traditional that goes and dates from the 19th century and celebrated the neighborhood and the union between the African Americans and Native Americans. Both of them, as you know, they were part of the slavery from white people, so they blended together. The Native American helped the African Americans, and then in the future they start in this festival to commemorate that kind of brotherhood. Also, jazz music is one of the most important features in New Orleans. Jazz is basically it was born there in New Orleans, and all the classic jazz bands and the best musicians ever has been um, educated in New Orleans. Also, they have voodoo ritual. Voodoo is like a religion that came from Africa, but it blends very well with the Christianity back then. So it's a religion that a lot of people has in that kind of the region of United States. Also, they have something that we call the birthday dollar. That means that if a person is having a birthday, they put in t-shirt $1, and everybody knows that that person is in his or her birthday. So it's part of the tradition. So as you can see, they have a lot of tradition there. The religion of New Orleans are very extent because they have Catholicism, Judaism, and obviously, like in all the United States, Protestantism is a very heavy religion there. But like previously mentioned, voodoo and hoodoo is a practice that also part of the folklore and is part very extent in the area. If you like to see a little bit more about what hoodoo and voodoo is, you can read all the information in the presentation. As you can notice, in New Orleans are a lot of people from all the world. That's why the food there is so different than the real typical American English. In New Orleans, the spices and the seafood are the most important part of the diet there because they are connected to the Mississippi River, right? And because all the slaves there were black, brought from Africa, they have that kind of cuisine type that called soul food, and they use very kind of ingredients to create a lot of food there. Also, New Orleans have a lot of institutions and societies, like for example the Historical New Orleans Collection that preserve all the city-rich history, or St. Louis Cathedral, where they have a lot of paintings related with religion. Also the Jazz Museum or the Louis Armstrong Park, where they try to play legends to all the jazz musicians that they have there and are so important for them. Uh, the manner in New Orleans are kind of a party. They are called the party people, but that means that people like to go a lot from parties. But it's one of the cities that you can have problems with alcohol, for example. Also, they are just a friendly community, so they are happy, friendly, they like parties, and you can see people from all ages on the street dancing and having good times. As I mentioned in the first part, the evolution of language comes from the French, because that area, St. Louis and New Orleans, were the owners were French. Then the French country sold it to the Spain, and then the Spanish sold it again to the French, and then United States claimed the territory for their own, and it's where people started speaking French. But in all the process there, the English wasn't the native language. So it's basically from just a few years that English is part of the culture. So that's why it's kind of a little different than the other parts of, like for example, New York or Boston. Superstition are like a voodoo beliefs are still present in the moment, and the ideal is preserving the culture, and especially with music, festival, food, like the Mardi Gras and everything that they have there. Like I mentioned, the norms are just about music, going the streets, dressing up, every time that people go for party. So they are nice people, they are not having problems with others, so it's kind of nice for them. The road musician and the chef are the most important people there in the United States, and basically in New Orleans are the most important, and family for them are also important, like the social life, the friendship, the building community with events, music, and food. So as you can see, New Orleans is one of the most friendliest city there. Music, food, all the festivals are kind of part of their culture, so that's why I really like it. Sports are also part important for them, because they have the NFL team called the uh, New Orleans Saints. Also, they in their stadium they are always being the host for the Super Bowl, college Super Bowl called the Sugar Bowl. So people like sports there a lot. Unfortunately, they have the part of the Hurricane Katrina. So in that moment, they had a lot of economic problems, and it becomes like a poor area, and they have to build from scratch again, from dust again, the culture. So that means that they are perseverant. That means that they are hardworking people. So that is kind of part of the values, the desires for all the uh, New Orleans people. The myths there are also very big and vested. They have the myths of the voodoo, Marie Laveau, ghost stories. Um, they believe in vampires, werewolves. So it's kind of just a big part of them. So as you can see, New Orleans has a lot of culture divisions, culture um, different kind of culture. So that's why I choose New Orleans for this presentation. And one of the places that I would like to travel is there. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do it, but in the future I will, because this is a very nice city in a very nice country. um, I hope that you liked this presentation. If you would you like to learn more, you just have to click on the link to see all the complete presentation. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good night.